Right. All right. So again, welcome to Busyness Live, March 2nd, 9:30 p.m. every Wednesday, 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're coming to you live, Busyness Live, a fun, interactive, and engaging hour. So if you'd like to, show up with your video camera, I'll give you an opportunity, as always, to plug your business. Otherwise, we're going to have a little bit of fun, talk about a few things, and tonight dive into our LinkedIn strategy cash map. We're going to go through that this evening, which is one of my absolute most favorite cash map packages that we've ever put out. It's one of the most comprehensive. We've got an awesome expert partner, and I'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. So, but first, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about a topic that I call, cutting ties or cutting bait. And let me tell you what I mean by this. And I'm interested in to know from each of you if you have some examples of like this in your own life. And you can just go ahead and type into the chat, in the corner down there. Later, I'll open it up Q&A if you have questions. Either hold on to those questions for later when I open up Q&A, or go ahead and type them right into the chat window at your lower left, and that way we'll get to them, either now or I'll hold them to the end. So, but what I want to talk about is cutting ties in the realm of busyness, right? So, and just to remind you, everyone, busyness is defined as engaging in meaningless action. So one of the things, one of the 5 causes of busyness is other people, right? And so, I found lots of areas in my life that being able to cut free from people, has really helped me to really, peel away layers that gets me away from busyness, sometimes on purpose and sometimes inadvertently. So let me talk about that, on purpose. Right. 3 years ago, next month, I walked away from my full-time job in the automotive industry, and scary at times. Absolutely. When you do that, and you have 5 young children at home, it's there's a lot of weight on your shoulders and such. But also, I never change it for the world. It's absolutely great. And so it's one of those things where cutting away that excess layer there. Where before that I had, the full-time job, working on my doctoral degree, working on my cash map business and other entrepreneurial endeavors on the side, something just had to give. And, with all that interaction with people and all the additional responsibilities, I was just mired in the middle, of busyness. So there's one example, cutting bait. So I think most of the folks here, I recognize lots of names. I think most of the folks here are, entrepreneurs. You're working for yourself. But if you're not, and you did what I did, which is moonlight on the side for a little bit, absolutely awesome to do that. A great way to solidify yourself, get a second revenue stream going before you actually, cut bait and go out on your own. Well, some different ways. What about in business, cutting ties or cutting bait with customers, right? And there's been times, I'll use myself as an example like this. There's been many times in my past, especially when I just left and moved into the corporate world, where, I'd take any opportunity that I could strum up that would come my way. Anybody that wanted to work on anything, I was like, hey, yeah, let's do that. And before you know it, I've got myself and my team in a position where we have so many commitments, and really we're caught in the 80%. Producing 20% of the results instead of the other way around, right? Being only focusing on the 20%, producing 80% of our results, the old Pareto principle. And that's one of the things that, there's times when you need to fire a client. There's times when you need to fire a customer to, get yourself out of busyness, get out of the meaningless action and focus on the things that are producing results. Align yourself with align your intentions and your objectives with your actions. And sometimes you just have to cut loose. So that's another one, firing customers. Another example is, what about, at work itself, or if you did work in the corporate job. I mean, for me, I know times when there's people that, would walk by and they just talk. They literally talk for tens or even half hour, and you couldn't get away from them without what seemed to be rude. And to the point where I just simply had to cut bait. I had to avoid those folks, or have a talk with them. Say, hey man, I can't talk. I can't talk to you. I'll come over and see you at times when I'm free, but I just can't have conversations in the middle of the day here, trying to get stuff done. So lots of stuff like that. Maybe in the more personal world, it took a year and a half. I look at my door over here, where my 4 children that can walk. Peyton's been our 5-month old it will learn this, but she hasn't yet. But the other four, they'll come to the door and they'll wave. I'll see them out there and they'll be like, hey, hey, and they'll wait till I make eye contact with them, and I'll either I'll wave them in if I can, or if not, I'll say I'll wave back, or shake my head, or point to the phone if I'm on the phone, and they'll just be like, okay, their mouth to me, okay, dad, and walk away. Hey, it's really, really tough, but that in a way is cutting bait, with your own family, own children. So again, all so far, those are all intentional moves, to just stop the busyness, right? Cut bait and set yourself up to get out of situations, out of the environment where you're being pulled into meaningless action. So I want to give you one more, and then I'm going to get off of this diatribe here, or monologue, I guess I should say, and move on. But so I talked about intentional and unintentional. Our move to Florida, really was done to get a church campus off the ground down here that launched this past September. And of course, I can work from anywhere. So we moved 18 months ago down from Michigan to Florida. Very, very tough move, right? I mean, enthralled in Michigan. My wife and I both born in Michigan. All of our family in Michigan, our close friends in Michigan, and it was a very difficult thing to do. And still is. We miss our friends and family, very, very much. But the hidden gem in the whole thing was that we were so enthralled with friends and family that we always had stuff to do. We always were going, and getting caught up in lots of different things with the family, lots of different stuff with the friends. Not that we didn't love it, but almost to the point where it was pulling us away from our intentions to be inwardly focused at our own family and really cultivate the relationships between my wife and I, and between our children and myself, and my children and my wife. And so one of the benefits that came out of this that we weren't expecting was that it focused us as a family to look inwardly, and to really focus as a family unit, to become really, really close, with Lee and I and the kids and I, to do stuff as a family, and just kind of strip away a lot of the outside busyness stuff. And again, it's a little bit on a serious note here, but and don't get me wrong, I love my family, and being in the family would be absolutely would almost be better, but there is some benefit to it, and that was an unintentional finding of making that sort of move. So how about you? Any hand raise there if you want to type something into chat? Is there any do you have any examples of times when you've had to just cut bait on somebody, something, cut bait? How about cutting ties with email? I'll give you here's a hint for you. Let me give you another little thing here. About 2 years ago, I noticed I was doing I was getting caught up in email a lot, and so I literally did what I call a return on action study. Studied my actions for a period of time, and found that I was taking almost 2.5 hours. I think it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes or 2 hours and 22 minutes on average per day in email, right? And ridiculous. So I designed a system, did a little research on what other people were doing, designed my own system, put it together in what we call our email survival cache map. Now, what's interesting is, for those of you who have just been introduced to cache maps, you probably haven't seen it before, because it hasn't been on the market for some time. But it's something that was very, very successful. In my move down here, I actually kind of got away from it, and I'm in the midst of reinstating it, putting it back in. But it took me from being in email 2.5 hours a day down to about 20 minutes per day, 20 to 25 minutes per day. And like I said, that's going back into place now. And you're going to see that very, very soon underneath the Busyness brand, an email survival product, basically, that is going to help a lot of people, because email is one of the biggest things, that throws us all into busyness. So again, like, bam, cutting ties with email. So anyways, quiet night tonight. Not much chatter going on here. So let me throw it out there. Anybody that's Bruce, welcome. Anybody else that just joined us, if you have a webcam, you'd like to give us a little overview of your business, give your business a plug, not only for the viewers here today, but the thousands of viewers who will review this recording, over the coming months and years. I'd like to open it up to you, so we can flip on your cam. I'll give you access, and give you about a minute or two to plug your business if you want. If you want to do that, just raise your little hand, dude, at the top of the screen there, and we can do that. So with that, I'm going to, as I'm talking here, open up a poll here real quick. And if you bear with me just a second, I'm going to get this open here, and this is going to tie into what we're going to talk about right tonight. So we're going to say, here it comes. So here we go. I'm going to open this poll up. So you're going to see this poll up there. Do you use LinkedIn? So if you go ahead and answer that. All right, we've got about half of the folks here who have responded. Okay. About 3/4 of the folks have responded. Anybody else? Anybody else? Doug, stop working. All right. Oh, Doug, you voted. So all right. Sorry. You know what? I opened it up again. I need to really figure out learn how to use this thing. You don't need to vote again. Sorry. I'll close it down. But we had about 80% of folks who responded, and it was unanimous. It was unanimous in that 100% of you who responded you do use LinkedIn, and that's an awesome thing, because the big three of social media, right? Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, right? I mean, those are the three biggies. And I've found, from a business standpoint, that LinkedIn really provides the best results for me. Yeah, Facebook's fun from a family standpoint, but as I said in one of my emails this week, are you playing on Facebook, or are you, business networking on LinkedIn? And you can do this. You can do similar things on Facebook, no doubt about it. But the folks at LinkedIn, it's just a different crowd. It's a more of a business related crowd. And so what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a guy by the name of Lewis Howes. Now, if you can see him right here at the top, him and his buddy Frank Agin wrote this book. But there's Lewis. He was an ex-professional football player. He wrote this book called Linked Working. So I'll give him a little plug there. But Lewis and I met several years ago at a mastermind, and we became really good friends since then. So he gave me a copy of this book one of the first couple times that we met, and we came together and put together LinkedIn Cash Map. So for those of you that don't have LinkedIn Cash Map yet, I've got everything here tonight, and LinkedIn has really been one of the secrets to my success, because it's allowed me to connect with so many folks, and high-profile, powerful folks. In fact, the statistics show now that LinkedIn has over 100 million users, and they're growing at a rate of one new sign-up per second. So very, very fast growth. And beyond that, about 45% of the users on LinkedIn are considered to be key decision makers within their corporation or organization. 45%. So I mean, almost half of the people that you come in contact with in LinkedIn are key decision makers. Now, who cares about key decision makers, right? Well, let me tell you this. If you're out selling a product or a service to somebody who controls the checkbook, the chances of you convincing that person, and getting them to buy just go up exponentially, right? Because you only have to convince that one person who has the authority to make a decision to, buy your product or invest in your $5,000 coaching program, or, plop down for your $30,000 annual, business coaching program, whatever it is, right? They can do that. Whereas, on Facebook and some of the other ones, yeah, you can target demos really, really closely and stuff, but you get more of just a general, population, a general mix, as opposed to those real, authoritative decision makers. So with LinkedIn, I find LinkedIn to be very, very powerful. So what I wanted to do, and I told you I got a very, very, very special offer today, and that pertains to this. But I want to go ahead and open up the LinkedIn Strategy Cash Map, because what I want to do today is I want to go through the LinkedIn Strategy Cash Map. As I said, we're taking a hiatus. We're taking a little hiatus away from. In fact, I'll go and open up the Entrepreneur Cash Map first. So let me open up the Entrepreneur Cash Map first, so I can remind you where we were, explain to you how we've taken a little sidestep here. For those of you that have been with us week in, week out. So here you go. Last week we were right here at define your business competition. So, and we covered conquer your competition cash map package. Next week, it was going to be this week, we're going to jump into building a profitable email list. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to cover autoresponder cash map. And then the following week, we're going to jump into list building cash map, which is another awesome package, one of my favorites that we've built in conjunction with Carrie Wilkerson, Miss Barefoot Executive. And excuse me. But that's going to be the next 2 weeks. So tonight was going to be the autoresponder. I pushed that back to next week. And today I wanted to interject right in the middle here, LinkedIn. Okay, so we're gonna jump in there. So let me go ahead and open up our LinkedIn strategy cash map, and then we'll dive right into this. So while I'm doing that, how many of you, just by maybe a show of hands, how many of you, by the little dude at the top there, how many of you feel that you effectively use? Let me ask a different question. How many of you go in and hop into your LinkedIn account at least weekly? And so you're somewhat of an active user. Are you weekly in your LinkedIn account? All right, so just one. All right. Okay, good. Yep. Becky got you there. All right. So it doesn't sound like folks are necessarily into it all the time. And then my question was going to be how many of you are effectively using it? But that now with only I know a small percentage of the room here is actually getting in there on a regular basis. What about the rest of you? How many of you have an account but you really haven't even been back in there yet? So yeah, okay. So Ron, right. You never log in, but you auto post stuff, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about linking stuff up to LinkedIn, to post stuff to your network there. So how many of you, by maybe a show of hands or typing in there, how many of you created an account but don't really ever go in there, right? All right, not a super active. You guys are making me pull teeth tonight. There's not much activity and discussion going on here, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. So we'll just keep plowing ahead. All right. Thanks, Ron. Yeah, I see Ron and Doug there. Okay, that's good. That's good. Thanks, guys. All right. Now, so let's dive into LinkedIn. Now, as I said, Lewis Howes, right? Author of Linked Working. Him and I partnered together on this. We worked with him so that we could put together a full package of LinkedIn. We call it our LinkedIn Marketing Cash Map. Now, Ron, you need to talk to your boss about busyness. Here's LinkedIn Marketing Cash Map, right? And what I want to point out, for those of you, I think most folks here probably know this, but let me just say, see this little folder icon right here on 1.3 and right here on 1.1? Those folder icons mean that there's an action cache map, a lower level action cache map that details that particular step, right? So Develop a LinkedIn strategy. Well, the Action Cash Map 1.1, shows that there's an Action Cash Map. Develop a LinkedIn strategy. Yeah, okay, Becky, that's a good suggestion there. I've always been using the green one here. Let me see what I can find. Let me see if I can figure out how to get that change. Interesting. Seems like it only wants to give me a green one. I'll have to figure out later how to do that. But anyways, these little folder icons here indicate that. So you can see here in this package alone, we have, I'm going to count them for you. We have, this is one of our larger packages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is the top end of our packages here. There's 12 Action Cash Maps. So if I pull these out, you can see right here, I've got them all right here on some nice card stock. These are all of our 12 Action Cash Maps that detail each of the steps on the strategy cash map there. And I'm going to make just a reminder, the strategy cash maps are always free. You just create a account at cashmap.com. You get all 59 or 60, whatever our strategy cash maps are there right now. I think it's 59. And you get all the strategy cash maps for free. That's a high level what. The Action Cash Maps, right, that details, that provide all the details of the really nitty gritty how, the step-by-step how that you can follow. Those are what is for sale. That's our business model. That we sell the Action Cash Maps. But I'm going to give you a great offer tonight to pick up this package and a whole lot more for a one low price. So just stay tuned for that. Now, let's dive in and blow through this now. As always with any cash map package, you start here at the LinkedIn strategy where it says begin LinkedIn strategy, right? And that we call that a rounded rectangle. They're usually green on our cash maps. You're going to start there. You're going to finish down at this one down here, and you're going to follow the little flow arrows or flow lines here that are very, very light green, right there. You're going to follow through. You're going to take a look at the step. What the step tells you to do, you can read the what we call a text annotation hanging off of it, if there is one. And then you're going to follow the flow arrows. And when you come to something like 1.2, that's a decision diamond. You're going to read what it says and make the appropriate decision and follow that appropriate response. In that case, yes or no. So let's get into 1.1, develop a LinkedIn strategy. So developing a LinkedIn strategy. We've talked about this in multiple of our packages, that really understanding that this comes from not just taking the latest and greatest fad or the next shiny red ball like so many people do, right? That's why, marketers in general are good. Companies in general are good, right? Because they know what your hot buttons are. They know what your wants and your desires are. Not necessarily even your needs. They know what your wants and desires are. So they're going to sell you, right? They're going to sell you these benefits featured in benefits that really wet your whistle or whet your appetite or just get you all worked up. Maybe it's we're going to sell you something that's going to generate $10,000 by Monday morning, right, for you. And most of the stuff is just fad. But the issue is, okay, do you have a strategy around these tools that you're using, or are you just putting yourself into the thralls of busyness? Because you're just going to grab that next greatest thing, the next greatest promise, right? And so just like anything else with LinkedIn, how are you going to use it? What is the strategy, that you're actually going to use? And that's one of the things that the first thing we really want to consider, and so that you understand, things like how is LinkedIn important? What's your niche? What's your goals with LinkedIn? What is your keyword strategy? How are you going to continuously find new connections on LinkedIn? What are you going to do with those connections? How they fit into your funnel, and all that sort of stuff. So that's what we're talking about there with developing a strategy to maximize the effectiveness of your LinkedIn account. And that's really, really key, really, really important. And we're going to get to that. I've got a webinar coming up late this month, how to generate 5-figure sales using LinkedIn. And that's something that I hope that all of you will be a part of, because we're really going to dive into some of the nitty-gritty details. Today we're just going to walk through this at a high level. Yes, the Action Cash Maps provide more of the detail and to show you the solution. But there's even beyond those. There's some some hidden gems, some things that I've either worked with Lewis on, or then taken further myself. Some real key strategies that work, and it can really provide an influx of folks into your funnel. So moving on, 1.1, move to 1.2, which is have a ask the question, do you have a LinkedIn profile? And sorry, I lost my mouse here somewhere. I'm trying to find it. Now there we go. All right, it's back. It's back. So let me move over here to 1.2. Do you have a LinkedIn profile? So this is asking a question. It says, hey, do you have an existing LinkedIn profile? Now I think it was 80% of you who responded, said yes, that there definitely is. So or that you have a profile. So that's great. So most of you are not going to follow this path to know, up here to create a LinkedIn profile. Most of you are going to follow the yes. Right over to 1.4, where we're going to want to configure that profile. But what I'm going to do is I kind of talk about both of these at the same time, right? So 1.3, as far as creating a profile, it's pretty straightforward. As far as if you don't have one, I'll just mention a few words. It's pretty straightforward. It's literally just follow the prompts and select your name and use an appropriate email and that sort of thing. But what's important here, right, is to understand part of your strategy, even globally. How are you positioning yourself from a name perspective? How do you how are you going to put it in there so you're searchable? There's some things that you can do in your name field that's not just your name, but also some keyword things that do work at times to get you ranked in searches and stuff on LinkedIn. But you need to also, when you create that LinkedIn profile, you're going to want to do some legwork, and we show that on the action cache map of what to actually go pull out, like your work information and your company page if you have a business, your educational background, stuff that you can configure later, but if you have it, when you create that profile, you can go ahead and fill in as much as possible. So getting that set up, that's 1.3. Now we move into 1.4, which is right here, configuring your LinkedIn profile. And when you do that, now we get into some other things, some other settings, more detailed settings, claiming your name, getting a photo or an image, into your account. Now, one of the things that I've done, and other folks have done this as well, and so I actually heard this from some other well-known businessmen and women, and so I don't claim this at all, but it's something I've practiced, and I really think it helps. And that is using one photo across all of your social media profiles, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it is, because there's that personal recognition that comes out there, right? So if somebody searches for you on Facebook and you've got one avatar, right, or a profile image, and then you go to LinkedIn and there's something else, and unless there's distinctly you in each one, it raises questions in people's minds, like, is this the same person or not? But if it's clearly the same person and it's tied together, the thoughts then are that of folks are there like, oh wow, this person is connected here. This is great. So with that, sorry, I lost my mouse there for a minute. With that, that's just a little trick that allows you to to keep some consistency, around everything. And sorry for my delays here. I've totally lost control of my mouse, and hopefully the webinar is still coming through on your end, and it'll move at times. So I'm going to keep plowing through this. 1.4, build network connections. Now this is really, really cool here, right? Really, really cool. You have a couple different decisions here. Kind of like Facebook. Are you only going to connect with your friends and people that you truly know, or are you going to be what they call an open networker? Now, for me, I'm an open networker. I network with anybody. If you go to LinkedIn and search, Brad Semp, and ask to add me, which I hope you do if you haven't already, I'll accept your invite. And So there's absolutely, and if you want to do that and you want to just put other or friend, my email address in there is LinkedIn at bradsump.com. So you can type that in or just select that we've done business together at, at Sumpsys or whatever, latest company that's in there, Business TV, and I'll accept you there. So, but you definitely want to build your connections here. Now, with that, and this is another thing I'm going to be covering on the webinar later this month, where I'm going to show you the real sneaky way that you can go from, basically zero attendees, or I'm sorry, connections, to over 1,000 connections, literally like overnight. Okay, so that's one of the big things to increase your connection power and stuff that we're going to be covering later this month on the how to generate 5-figure sales using LinkedIn, that exclusive webinar. So we'll talk about that. But building network connections is very, very important, and it's one of the things that you need to think about. Again, whether you want to be an open networker or not. So now 1.5, and I know it's kind of cut off the screen. Oh, there we go. Maybe I got it back again. It was cut off the screen a little bit. I'm going to try to zoom out just a hair and zoom over. Is generate recommendations. Now this is one that even I, have on my to-do list to do better at this. I need to really jump into this, but recommendations is a very powerful piece of LinkedIn, and this is for folks to recommend you, right, to build up your credibility, to get seen on their profiles and such. And for you to recommend folks back, right? For you to provide value back to other people. And so the thing here is that choosing quality connections to to get recommendations and to ask for recommendations. Now, rather than just going out and asking for them, the best way is for you to just go ahead unsolicited and write a nice recommendation for somebody else, right? So for instance, if you wanted to and just write me a recommendation, right, about Busyness TV, the Business TV show or Business Live or whatever it is that your heart feels fit, then I'll get a note in my account to approve that, right, and review and approve it, and then I'll reciprocate. I'm telling you I'll reciprocate, but most people will do the same. They'll reciprocate with a recommendation, for you, as long as they know something about you. But that's a great way to generate recommendations, and it's very, very important to build that credibility and such. Now, moving on, 1.7 to join groups, right, and create groups here. So this is where, from a group perspective, you absolutely can. I think you can join up to 50 groups, and there's limits on how many groups you can. You can create, I believe, up to 10 groups and be part of 50. Okay. So, and some of the key things with groups, right? You can send messages. Usually, you can send like one message a week to your own group, and then you can also create subgroups. That's something that people don't necessarily know all the time, but you can create subgroups. So, joining and creating groups. You want to be selective on the groups that you join, again, because there's a limited number. So you want to pay attention and really look for stuff that's in your niche. Easily go at the top of your LinkedIn account, pull down, change it to groups, search on your keywords. You'll find all the groups that pertain to you. So absolutely essential thing there on joining and creating groups. Moving on, 1.8, engage in LinkedIn conversations. So I'm right by the hand here. I'm not putting the arrow up there because I keep losing my mouse tonight for some reason. 1.8 though, engage in LinkedIn conversations. Now this is, social media is all about conversations, right? It's absolutely all about conversation, and LinkedIn is no different. And so if you're away from social media for a long time, you're not really logging in, you're really losing out on the power and the benefit of LinkedIn, right? So, you can send messages to connections. You can send messages to groups. You can utilize group discussions, group news, right? The answers feature. You can, submit answers. You can also, I'm sorry, submit questions to be answered, and you can reply with answers to other folks, and actually build up, get judged to be the best answer, right? So this is, hey, douchebags. All right, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we met before, but thanks for the shout out. But the answers you can actually answer and go for the best answers, because it'll actually show you over there. Hey, Dr. Brad Semp has been recommended 5 times for the best answer or whatever, and so you just get extra pub and things like that. So lots of ways to engage, right? And I'm going to get into that in just a little bit of how we can help you help you engage, because again, on the webinar later this month, we're going to be talking about that as well. Now, 1.9, integrate your blog, right? This is absolutely essential here. If you have a blog, let's say you have a WordPress blog or something of the like, you're definitely going to want to integrate, and it's really simple. LinkedIn has an application, a blog application. You just install it, and boom, bam, link it to your LinkedIn account, and you're good to go. And that way, every time that you post, so anytime that I post to the Busyness blog, that just that automatically takes that post via RSS, sends it over, and it shows up inside of my LinkedIn account. So you're automatically populating new content, showing up on your profile. You absolutely need to integrate your blog here. Moving on, 1.10. And by the way, I'm looking. This is right here is 1.9. So let me show you. Remember, on cache maps, you always look at the right side, right here, or left side. Integrate your blog, 1.9. So this is the action cache map right here that shows you exactly how to integrate that blog, how to test the blog, how to fix problems if you have any, all that good stuff, right? So integrate your blog, 1.9. Now, 1.10, share videos and documents. Just like Facebook, where you can share videos, or Twitter, you can share links to videos or twit pics or stuff like that. Absolutely want to be doing this on LinkedIn, because sharing your videos, in your documents, it allows you to connect, right, with the people that are following you on LinkedIn, and educate them about yourself, your business, your interests, whatever it may be. And it's a great way to leverage your content, right? So what do I mean by leverage your content? All right. So let me give you an extreme example here. Let's say you go out and you film a 2-minute video. Well, a 2-minute video, if you're talking a little slower than me, because I tend to talk fast, but a 2-minute video is going to get you about 500 words. So you could film a 2-minute video. Now you have that transcribed. Now you have 500 words that you just tweak a little bit. You've got an article. You take that article, you distribute that to video sharing sites. You take the video, you distribute that to video sharing sites. Then you take that article, maybe put it on your, tweak it a little bit, put it on your blog, and now your blog's connected to LinkedIn. That's going over there. You take that same video, you put that video on LinkedIn as one of your distribution sites. I mean, you can just see this here, where you can literally use videos and articles and repurpose them and put them all over, to leverage that same content. And that's what you want to do here too, right? There's a couple applications at LinkedIn. One you want to look for is SlideShare presentation, and the other one is Google presentations. Both of those, you want to research them a little bit and see which one fits your needs. But there's definitely some things there. And this is another thing on the webinar that, by the way, on this webinar, there's a very good chance that I'll get Lewis Howes on with us, where we're going to get the schnizzy behind the scenes, right, of the latest and the greatest, what's happening on LinkedIn and all the secrets. And I'm sure there's even more stuff going on now with the videos and documents that I'll be able to extract from him. For some reason, if I don't get him on this webinar, though, I'll have all this. I'll extract it from his head and present it to you. But anyway, so 1.10, share videos and documents. Now, 1.11, leverage polling. It's another application. There's a polling application here you're going to want to look for and install on LinkedIn. And polling just helps you to engage with your folks at LinkedIn, and really to also to collect data, right? You can collect great data from folks by asking people questions. Um, Absolutely something that you want to consider in submit polls. Now I can't remember off the top of my head. I actually have a premium account on LinkedIn, and I'm not going to get into the details tonight of the premium versus the basic and that sort of thing. But you can contact people more often. You can get additional messages. You can get introduced to people easier. When you're a premium member. And I think there's a limit on the number of polls you can submit and stuff as a free member as opposed to a premium member. But I just don't remember exactly what that is. But you can literally create the poll, install the application, create the poll, gather the results, analyze them, share those poll results. Lots of cool stuff to engage with your folks. 1.12, integrate your Twitter account. Pretty standard today, right? But again, another application within LinkedIn. But as you're using your Twitter account, why not? Let's drive some dynamic content again over to LinkedIn. Let's get that inside of LinkedIn by stuff again that you're already doing, right? You're already sending stuff putting it out on LinkedIn. Let's get that stuff out to Twitter. Let's get that stuff into LinkedIn and on your account. So here you want to install the Twitter application and go through, setting that up, just like we tell you here on our Action Cash Map 1.12, integrate your Twitter account. This is the Action Cash Map for that. It shows you exactly how to do that. So now we are on to 113 and 114. And this is the last Action Cash Map. 113 doesn't have an Action Cash Map. Remember, all of our decision diamonds, there's no Action Cash Maps to go along with them. But what we're talking about now is setting up offline events. So the question is, do you currently host or would you like to set up offline events? Now, this is something that Lewis Howes has been a master at. An absolute man. I think he's done close to like 100 offline events. Don't quote me on that, but he's done a ton of them. And all through LinkedIn, all through generating leads in LinkedIn, and he has just killed it with that, right? So you can actually set up an event application within LinkedIn so that you can plan and organize an event. You can create an event, have it searchable by keywords. You can promote it in groups, and you can do online events as well. So LinkedIn is just an absolute great way. In fact, so great, right, that I kind of forgot about it. I mean, shame on me, right? I kind of forgot about it. And as I was going back through this package the last couple of days, just kind of refreshing my mind and making sure that I'm optimizing everything I can from a LinkedIn perspective, I came across this Action Cash Map, and I was like, oh man! I mean, these Busyness live events right now, I haven't been setting up. I'll set up events on Facebook and that sort of thing, but I haven't been setting up events on LinkedIn. So starting next week, if you're going to engage with me on LinkedIn, watch for it, because let's get involved with these events, and you can plan to organize and host those offline or online events right through LinkedIn. So absolute awesome stuff. So that is the last Action Cash Map. 12 Action Cash Maps we just blew through at the at the highest level, at the strategy cash map level. The Action Cash Maps get into all the detail that I just kind of hinted at there, give you a real high level overview. We've got about 10 minutes left tonight, and I want to do a couple things. I want to make you right now, as always, right? You know this every week. I want to make you a special offer to get this package, and then open it up for questions. So if you have questions, get those ready. In just a minute, I'll open up the Q&A pod. But here's what I want to do for you. Okay, thank you very much, as always, for for being here. And if it's okay, I'd like to ask you for your permission to make a very, 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 very special offer to you tonight. One that is better than you've seen before on Busyness Live. So is that okay? Yeah, little hand clap or hand raise or something. Yeah, no. All right. Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Gary. Okay, cool. So here's the deal. I know many of you have picked up several cash maps and stuff. We've got 59 or 60 packages in our system. Lots of good stuff, depending on what your need is. So I'm gonna help you, because I'm gonna help you help me to help Lewis. Right? Lewis is a great friend, a great guy. I trust him to the core. I love the guy. He's a great friend of mine. He is the author of Linked Working, right? He put out a new product called Linked Influence, and it's a $97 product on ClickBank, and it is a product that I highly, highly, highly recommend. 97 bucks. What I'd like to do is to offer you, right, to pick up his LinkedIn. So you're not actually sending me any money, right? It is an affiliate link that I'm going to give you. But what I'd like you to do, ask you to do, if you consider it and help me help him and help you, is to pick up his Linked Influence product for 97 bucks, right? And here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you access to this entire LinkedIn marketing cash map package. I'm going to unlock the whole thing for you. That's this alone, right, is a $77 value. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do, and I've mentioned it multiple times here, for the buyers of the Linked Influence, I'm going to do a special webinar towards the end of March. Okay, a special 1-hour webinar. Like I said, I'm pretty positive it depends on the date. That's why I haven't set the date yet, because I'm trying to coordinate it with Lewis. But I want to get Lewis on at least for part of that webinar. And we're going to do an exclusive webinar only for the buyers of Linked Influence. Okay, that called Generate Five Figure Sales from LinkedIn. And I'm going to give you all the little nuts and bolts and the tips and tricks and the real key core strategies that work. And like I said, whether we get Lewis on there or not, if we do, there's a good chance of that. You're going to get more stuff right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. If not, then I'll be bringing in information from him in addition to my own stuff, right? And you get to attend that for free. Okay, absolutely free. So right now you get Linked Influence, right? His product. You get the whole LinkedIn marketing cash map package, a $77 value. You get to come join me and potentially Lewis on the exclusive LinkedIn webinar towards the end of the month, right? Right there, blows away the value here for 97 bucks. But here's what I want to do. I want to make this a no-brainer offer for you. The no-brainer offer is that in addition to all that, I'm going to allow you to pick 20 cash map packages for myself and our team to unlock for you tonight, tomorrow, whenever you send this over. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for you. LinkedIn marketing cash map package, the access to the exclusive webinar, in 20 cash map packages of your choosing, or you can let us just randomly pick whatever you'd like. And here's the link. Let me go ahead and grab that link here. Sorry about that. I don't have it. Mary, before you run, let me get you that. Let me get you that link. Just 1 second here. I just didn't have it right here at the top of my hand. Sorry about that. And it is right here. Let me drop that link in there. Thanks for your patience. Here it comes right now. Here's the link, and that is my affiliate link. It's 97 bucks. Linked Influence. Now the key is this, right? If you refund, I'll be watching, and if you refund, then we'll have to take away the access to the cash map packages and stuff, because this is a special offer here. But again, you're going to get LinkedIn marketing cash map. Thanks, Chris. Hopefully we got back to you, buddy, on what packages you want. Some of your cash map username and stuff. So LinkedIn marketing cash map, you're going to get that. You're going to get the exclusive LinkedIn webinar access, and you're going to get 20 cash map packages unlocked of your choosing. Okay, so that's it, and there's the link. All right, so this is really a no-brainer, folks. Come on, this is about the price of one cash map package. And why would I do this? You know what? I really believe LinkedIn is that powerful. In just LinkedIn stuff alone, I mean, the LinkedIn product, the cash map package, and the webinar blows away the 97 bucks you're going to spend on his package. I'm throwing the other 20 packages in there because I want to make this a no-brainer for you. I want to help Lewis out, and and just really help him get his message out there. And you know, that's what this is about, is helping you. And I'm really I'm excited to do that. So with that, that wraps up, you know, the overview of you know, LinkedIn marketing cash map package. And I hope that you found it very beneficial. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this up. And you know what? Instead of actually, let me pull up the Q&A thing here. I'll kind of pull this up here. I'll put it down here. If you have any questions now, and we've got a few minutes left, whether it's on the LinkedIn pack marketing strategies, or if it's on, you know, something else, you know, maybe you've got just anything about your business, about you know, getting out of busyness, productivity, time management, you know, marketing, customer service, sales, hey, whatever it is, I'll do the best I can to answer it. And if I can't answer it, I'll get you an answer. I'll find someone and introduce you to someone who can. So I'm not afraid to be stumped. I'm not too proud to tell you I don't know the answer to something if I don't. But so with that, are there any questions there? Okay, so all right. So the question is groups on LinkedIn. How to start to leverage. All right. So great question here. So groups on LinkedIn. How do you start to leverage those? Well, one of the things, right, for me is, you know, I own a few groups, but then the rest I fill out with groups that I subscribe to, right? So I join those groups, and there's many different ways you can leverage them by, you know, submitting or getting involved with discussions, posting to those groups, posting news to the groups, and that sort of thing. So there's a couple different things that, you know, what I try to do is actually leverage content, right? When I write a blog, pick out the different groups that pertain to the topics of that blog, and then from there, you know, submit those in a discussion or in news to those particular groups. You have to be really careful, right? That you're not just spamming and putting stuff in groups that don't, you know, that your topic or that you're writing on doesn't apply to, or your video doesn't apply to. And but I can tell you, you know, or I can tell you firsthand, because, you know, that's happened before. Not on purpose, but it was just like, oh shoot, that really didn't go there. And groups have called me out, you know, not recently, but, you know, when I was really getting started with LinkedIn and saying, hey, this content really doesn't fit in here. So, you know, some things there, but like anything on social media, right? You've got to be able to get your people from those groups over, you know, the people that want to hear your message, right? And you're posting valuable content, they'll come over and subscribe to your blog or get involved in your web TV show or whatever that is, right? And then that way, what you want to do is just absolutely, you know, get them to convert over to you just by providing valuable content, so that you can follow with them and develop a relationship with them. So, great question there. Now, so all right, another question. So, hey, Brad, is there a special offer from the link? No, there's not. Okay, there's no special offer on that link. That you would just click that link, and you know, you go to the video and click right through and just buy the package at $97. So it's not a special offer on that front end. You're just going to buy it through that link. That will credit me, making sure that I got that that referral into Lewis. And then what you're going to do is you're going to submit a support ticket at cashmap.com/support, or email us at sales@cashmap.com, and just let us know that you bought that. Tell us what 20 packages you want unlocked, and bang. So what will happen is the link that I gave you will take you to his video sales page. You just have to get through the video sales page. I think there's a link to actually bypass the video and just buy it. If not, eventually the buy now button comes up, and that's a great point. I wish I had a direct link to the sales page, but for you. But anyways, hopefully that makes sense. If not, you know, shout it back out here, and I'll give you another answer. So awesome, great question on the groups, and we're going to talk a lot more about that on the webinar and such. What else? What else do we have? Any additional questions or anything? It's 10:30 on the nose, but I'll answer a couple more questions if there are any. All right, looks like there's one question coming in here about sales letters, so that's good. We can take a shot at that. I'm not a copywriter by trade, but I know I know the strategies and stuff. At least enough to talk through it or get you pointed in the right direction. Um, so let's while that's coming up, if anyone else has any questions, again, I really love your support and help here and feedback. I always remember also that the business TV show, right? The business TV show every Thursday. The new one's set to episode number 8 from last week is up. Episode 9 is coming out this week. You can visit that at busyness.com. You can, have a chance to actually win our full entrepreneur cash map package or be rewarded for that by submitting an Ask Dr. Brad question. Just go to busyness.com, look for Ask Dr. Brad link in the right-hand column. And you can, if I use your question on air, you will receive their full, unlock our full entrepreneur cash map package. All right, so here's the question. On sales letters, do I do a short 2-paragraph letter to introduce, or do I do a longer letter outlining my product or service? All right, great question, great question. So there's many different philosophies here, right? There's long form sales letters, there's short form sales letters. The short answer is you have to provide enough information and enough copy to address all the objections in a buyer's mind, right? And to get them to buy the product. And so that's why you see, at least in the internet marketing world, you see a lot of long form sales letters, because it takes that long for somebody to get your attention with a headline, keep you entertained with a subheadline, transition you into a letter, get your attention, and then move you down through the letter from headline to subheadline to subheadline, right? And get you to read stuff in between, so that, because every step of the way they're bringing up things that you may think about, well, I think this is too expensive, or I'm not going to get my value, or this is going to be too hard to do. And every time they're addressing that, they're chipping away and at any objections that that you're going to have. Completely on the other side, right, are the large brand companies like Best Buy or something like that. You don't see long form sales letters on that stuff, right? Because they're not necessarily, they don't have the they don't have to necessarily knock down objections about something. They've got the brand, they've got the big name products, and somebody's just going and looking for a product. So tough question, just from a standpoint of lots of different variables here, depending on how you're setting somebody up on a website, where they're coming from, what's the funnel that you've put them through. So how educated are they about your product? If somebody's hitting a particular site that knows nothing about your product or service, I would say a couple short paragraphs to introduce your product is not going to be enough. I mean, it's just, what's the features of the, first, what's the story behind the product? How's it going to help somebody address somebody's needs? What are the the benefits of it? Again, addressing needs, and then what are the features of it that that come in the products? What are they actually getting for that? So, one way, of course, to address the objections and really sell a product in a short, concise way are video sales letters, right? So, video sales letters are a great way to be able to provide a longer amount of information, but in a short area. So I know long-winded answer there. I'm not sure that helped, but Gary, if it didn't, ping me separately, and we can try to get you in touch with somebody who might be able to answer that even better than what I did. But all right, so great. All right, any last questions? Anything else? Those are great questions, folks. And while we're as I'm watching this, just see if there's going to be any more questions coming up. I just wanted to, say thank you again for each of you for spending an hour of your time. I know your time is absolutely precious and away from your families. That shows your commitment to, to your business and to learning and educating yourself and moving yourself forward. I just thank you so much for spending your time with me here on Wednesday night at Busyness Live. Really would, just ask you to consider, supporting Lewis, supporting myself here, and helping me help you by providing you just a solid platform to move your LinkedIn leverage the LinkedIn platform in your business and grow your business. So there's the link again. Again, you'll just go to that link directly to the sales letter, his sales page. Just click on through, order the product at $97. Set us a support ticket or an email to sales@cashmap.com. Let us know you ordered, the special link, and we'll get everything. Tell me what your CashMap username is and what 20 packages that you'd like unlocked inside of your CashMap account, and bam, we will make it so. So as always, would love your feedback. So if you have feedback on Busyness Live, go ahead. I'll give you my other email address that you can get to me directly. bradsimp@busyness.com for Busyness Live feedback. Email me at busyness.com. Thanks, Chris. Applaud to you too, buddy, for being here. Thanks for ordering Linked Influence. Look forward to seeing you on the exclusive webinar. Thank you for your feedback. And so, if you have feedback on Business Live, how to make it better, things that you'd like to see, whatever, shoot those over as well. So with that, folks, I know we're late, but I hopefully you found this valuable as Chris did. And watch for the replays. Watch for Busyness TV show episode 9 coming out tomorrow, and would look forward to seeing you again here next Wednesday, right here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to cover autoresponder cash map and really get into building a large and profitable email list for you. So with that, so long, good night, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.